SOA's 1-minute COVID-19 updates. Social distancing measures in Korea have been downgraded to level 1 after being under level 2 or 2.5 since the massive outbreak in the metropolitan region, which began around mid-August. This means beginning this Monday, the level 2 main rule of no more than 50 people indoors and 100 people outdoors has been lifted, but detailed guidelines have been introduced, such as allowing one person per 4 square meters. While high-risk facilities such as nightlife entertainment venues can operate their businesses and also large-sized cram schools can reopen, strict preventive measures will be in effect at such places. A concern is, though, that the number of new COVID-19 cases, however, has actually surged this Monday to almost 100, and that includes an uptick in domestic as well as imported cases. So that is why it's really important to not be lax over social distancing measures, and that's also why authorities are calling on citizens to continue to practice basic personal hygiene and also wear masks, especially when you're in public transportation or high-risk facilities, stressing that more responsibility is needed with the downgrading of social distancing measures. Those are the updates I have for now. I'll be back with more tomorrow. SOA's 1-minute COVID-19 updates. It's the second day that Korea is under the downgraded social distancing measures at level 1, but it's also the second straight day that the country is seeing an uptick in COVID-19 cases, which were at almost 100 yesterday and now have surpassed the 100 mark again. But many of these cases are also attributed to an increase in imported cases. 29 were reported yesterday and 33 today. That is the highest number since July 29th, when the country reported 34 cases from abroad. And beginning today, it's become mandatory to wear face masks in public transportation. 죄송합니다. 네네네. Beginning today, it has become mandatory to wear face masks on public transportation as well as medical facilities and hospitals. And beginning next month, Beginning today, it has become mandatory here in the country to wear face masks on public transportation as well as medical facilities and hospitals. And starting next month, after a 1-month grace period, people who do not abide by this measure will have to pay a fine. Those are the updates I have for now. I'll be back with more tomorrow. SOA's 1-minute COVID-19 updates. Korea reported less than 100 cases of the coronavirus this Wednesday, but it is too early to be relieved because it's very likely that tomorrow's cases will be much higher than today, and that as more than 50 coronavirus cases were reported in the southeastern city of Busan at a nursing hospital, and those figures have not been added to Wednesday's tally yet. That includes 42 patients and 10 staff members at the hospital. One of the patients, unfortunately, was reported dead even before the test results came out. Massive screening was conducted at the hospital after a nursing assistant tested positive on Tuesday. So in total, 53 cases are linked to this single outbreak. It's the first time the city of Busan has reported a cluster infection of this size. And to put this figure into perspective, 53 is also the number of nationwide domestic cases the country reported this Wednesday. And those are the updates I have for now. I'll be back with more tomorrow. SOA's 1-minute COVID-19 updates. As was expected yesterday, Thursday's COVID-19 cases ticked up, and that's due to a large cluster infection in the southeastern city of Busan at a nursing hospital, as 53 infections from that outbreak were added to today's tally. Now, as of yet, no additional case has been reported there, while tests have been conducted on some 670 people. Not all results are out yet, and epidemiological investigation is underway. So that brings Thursday's caseload to 110, with 95 of those being domestic infections, which actually means that imported cases have gone down, and they have decreased by around half of that we saw on Tuesday and Wednesday. Meanwhile, today, October 15th, is Global Hand Washing Day. The name of the day speaks for itself, so please make sure to keep your hands clean amid the pandemic. And those are the updates I have for now. I'll be back with more tomorrow. So us 1-minute COVID-19 updates. Korea reported 47 new cases of the coronavirus on Friday, which means for the first time in 17 days, the figure has dropped below 50. And with that, the total number of COVID-19 cases, however, has surpassed 25,000. The death toll stands at 441. Now, by region, we see that still there are cluster infections concentrated in the metropolitan region, with 18 in the capital Seoul and 17 in Gyeonggi-do province. While the domestic figures do appear to have stabilized, abroad that's not the case, especially with resurgences in Europe. The WHO called on more efforts in the European continent, where now the coronavirus is the 5th leading case of death. Now, back here in the country, we are just ahead of the weekend, and that's why authorities are concerned about people traveling around the country with the nice weather, especially with the fall foliage season. That is why, beginning tomorrow, there is going to be a special antivirus prevention period in effect for 1 month. So even if you're outdoors, don't forget to wear your masks and keep that distance of 2 meters from other people if possible. And those are the updates I have for now. Stay safe, and I'll be back next week.